So this was a tough question if you have not studied neuroscience or the science of learning, but what did you probably do? You're a smart person. You probably tried to say, all right, if one of these doesn't belong, which three look the most like each other? So you were struggling to figure out what the right answer is, and you can look above to see what the right answer is. I'm going to tell you right now. But there's this old theory of forgetting that is probably what you think about forgetting. It's what I thought until I read there was a new theory. So let's take a look at these theories of forgetting. So the odd person out here was this one. Forgetting happens when memories that we don't use evaporate and disappear over time. That's the way we used to think about forgetting, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. And as we just saw in the previous feedback to the question above, our brains have a practically unlimited storage capacity. So we really aren't forgetting memories that we have actually encoded. Things that are in our long-term memory are probably there forever. We just can't always recall them when we need to recall them. And the new theory of forgetting is really, we could call it the theory of learning. I mean, forgetting is really important for learning, and here's a couple of reasons why. If this piques your interest, we can talk more about it. Forgetting is an active process that hides stored memories from retrieval for various reasons. In order to learn new things, our brains sometimes need to forget other memories. I was thinking about this the other day when I had to create a new computer password. Well, how many computer passwords have I had to create on my Front Range account over the last 10 years or 18 years? A lot. All of those computer passwords are still in there, right, according to this theory of long-term memory storage. But I know that I don't need to remember the password that worked last month. My brain is smart enough to actively hide that memory from me, which allows me to learn my new password and recall it. Other examples I've read about are things like if you move to a country where you have to drive on the other side of the road or learn a new language, your brain isn't forgetting those old, ways of driving or old languages, but it's actively kind of hiding them from your conscious memory so that you can use those new memories. So again, forgetting is really important. If you remember every password, you're going to be in trouble, right? All you need to remember is the current password. Unless you're like me and you log into some other computer where you used a different password, and then you got to try to recall two passwords, and it's tough. Forgetting is a passive decay in the strength of a memory that's a key to learning. We're going to talk more about this, and in fact, this is a key to some of the other answers that you hopefully got right, or not, you'll figure them out. One of the ways that we improve our learning and improve memory is that over time, right, after you've created a memory, it fades a little bit, but then when you recall that memory, it strengthens it. And again, the books that I read really talked about this. They used the metaphor of like building a muscle. You work out, you get sore, and then you work out again and your muscles get stronger, and it's that time lapse between the workout sessions that actually allows your muscles to grow. I mean, your neurons aren't literally muscles, but I think something very similar is happening. And so this is one of the reasons, again, to preview why spacing out your learning is really effective, because in the time between one study session and another study session, some forgetting happens, right? It's not literally forgetting, but the strength of that memory fades away. It's harder to recall it, but the act of recalling that memory actually then strengthens it. And last but not least, when we say we've forgotten something, we've often failed to learn it in the first place, right? So we talked about that earlier. If you didn't pay attention the first time, you never learned it. So a student might say, I forgot what was in the lecture, but if they were texting on their phone, they didn't forget anything because they never learned anything in the first place. If you never form a memory in the first place, there's nothing to forget.